Okay, so there was no miracle, no surprise. We lost again, in the Bernabéu, 2 consecutive losses in 4 days. But this one was different. This one, we really fought. We really tried. The result just wasn't what we hoped for because of an unlucky corner and a penalty. That's it. As I said after the Celta game, Xabi shouldn't be sacked now, especially not after a game like this. He prepared everything he could to face Manchester City, and he started the game with no better approach.
From the heart of Madrid, where passion meets purpose.
Is a legacy built by legends and a future written by rising stars.
Welcome back to the White News Tactical Comedy Edition. Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. No last-minute magic, no Hala Madrid goosebumps moment. However, there was spirit, there was structure, and yes, there was still heartbreak. So let's start with the tactics, because Xabi Alonso showed up with a whiteboard and actual ideas. We started with a 4-4-2, but within the first 10-15 minutes, Tchouaméni dropped back to form a back three with Asensio and Rudiger. Valverde and Carreras shifted into midfield alongside Bellingham, Ceballos, and Rodrigo to press City hard. Gonzalo Garcia and Vinicius were up top, a two-man front line. The idea, dominate the middle, win the ball back as soon as we lose it. And honestly, it worked, at least in that first phase. We pressed Manchester City so hard, they barely touched our half. And when they did, boom, cut off. We suffocated them. The intensity, the pressing, the speed of Vinny and Rodrigo on the counter, that's the Real Madrid we've been begging to see again. If we'd had just a little more luck, if Vinny had been found a second later, already in the box, we'd have had a penalty, early, and this game might have exploded in our favor. But we did get our goal. And who else? Rodrigo. He did it again, against City, as always. If CR7 is Simeone's nightmare, I believe Rodrigo should be Pep's. Every time this man plays against Manchester City, he smells blood, and he delivered again. After the goal, sure, we couldn't keep pressing that hard. That's normal. But we still defended well. We still created chances. And then the equalizer. Of course, from a corner, our old friend, our weak spot. It's almost a tradition at this point. I can't even blame anyone, not even Xabi's coaches. We were missing key defenders, and it's been a soft spot for years. Just bad luck, bad timing, maybe bad positioning, and, well, another goal from a set piece. Then came the penalty, a typical Rudiger moment. He always holds his man, always. And this time, the ref punished it. Simple as that. Haaland stepped up. Courtois couldn't save this one, and honestly, he's already saved us a lot. Can't ask him to be a superhero every time. Xabi made changes early in the second half, all in, like a man who wasn't just coaching, he was fighting. And the substitutions, they worked. They created real chances. We had 3 massive moments that made every Madridista jump off the couch. But in the end, 11 shots, 0 on target. That's the stat that hurts the most. The final decisions were awful, especially from Vinicius. It was déjà vu, vintage Vini from 4 years ago. World-class dribbler, amateur finisher. He fixed that flaw before. We saw it. He was almost a Ballon d'Or winner. But now, he's brought it back, and it's killing us. Still, even in defeat, there were positives, bright spots, and we need to hold on to them. Xabi made changes early, not in the 88th minute. He gave the subs time to impact the game. You love to see it. Rodrigo, no notes, the nightmare of Manchester City, a clinical menace. Tchouaméni, the most stable, most consistent player on that pitch, tactically sharp, always where he needs to be, ice cold. Courtois, as always, a wall, a guardian, a miracle worker in gloves. And the entire back four, yes, even Rudiger. Let me explain. Álvaro Carreras, fearless, pressed hard, joined attacks, hustled every minute. Yeah, he had a late foul, but he earned the badge last night. Antonio Rudiger, besides the penalty, he was solid, tough, vocal, never hid from challenges. He gave everything. Just maybe stop hugging people in the box? Raúl Asensio, what a surprise. Calm, controlled, and didn't panic. For a guy who stepped into this game, he looked right at home. Valverde, legend, played left back, midfielder, and oxygen tank. The guy doesn't stop running. Gave his soul to the game, again. So yeah, our defense wasn't glamorous, it wasn't perfect, but it fought. And that matters more than any stat line today. And now, let's address the very loud, very predictable crowd. Xabi out! Sack him now! He lost twice at the Bernabéu in 4 days. All right, breathe. We get it, you've got the reaction speed of Twitter fingers and the patience of a microwave. But let's try something wild. Context. This team didn't quit on Xabi. They didn't jog around aimlessly or play hot potato in midfield like it was April 2024 again. They pressed, they fought, they executed the game plan like actual professionals. And it's not just me coping with sarcasm here. The players backed him too, publicly. Thibaut Courtois, a man who actually has to save our mistakes, and Raúl Asensio, the representative of our defensive line, said this after the game. We're behind the manager. We played well and gave 100%, it just wasn't meant to be. And even The Guardian confirmed that players like Courtois, Bellingham, and Tchouaméni defended Xabi publicly, saying the squad is united behind him and the plan. So let's not pretend this was some passive, managerless mess. This wasn't Xabi scrolling on his iPad while the team collapsed. This was him gambling all in, high press, tactical tweaks, early subs, and it nearly worked. We didn't lose because of Xabi Alonso. We lost because of a corner and a penalty. That's it. The rest, football gods just said, not tonight. So no, Xabi shouldn't be sacked. He should be backed, with actual players returning, with consistency, with time. And if you're still not convinced, go rewatch the game, then rewatch the Celta match. Tell me you don't see the difference. Spoiler, one looked like a team, the other looked like therapy home. So yeah, there was no miracle. But there was heart, and tactics, and a plan. We gave it everything, and sometimes that's just not enough. But don't forget, this looked like Real Madrid. Not just the shirt, but the soul. And if we keep that fire, that belief, we'll be back, stronger, sharper, and one day soon, we'll get that miracle again. This is the White News Tactical Comedy Edition, where we cope with sarcasm, heal with analysis, and bleed white every week. If this match broke your heart too, hit like, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe to stay part of the Madridista chaos. We're in this together. Hasta la próxima. A la Madrid. Siempre.